Hello, my name is Wout Soetaert. I am consultant at KPD and I will give you a short demo about our WIC application. WIC stands for Werfinformatie, Information Chantier, which means in English, site information. WIC can be used by almost the entire company. So a project manager or a purchaser can use it to send out price requests, generate price comparisons, and from there generate a contract or an order. It can also be used by a site admin or site worker to generate delivery notes, and which in their turn can be matched to an invoice and propose a booking proposal for the accountant. Furthermore, WIC can be used to register additional works and to send out work progress reports. So, I will quickly guide you through the purchase to pay process without going into too much detail and focusing mainly on the process itself. We start with a purchase request. This can be used when there's a central purchasing department that sends out price requests and if needed prepares price, comparisons and contracts. In this case, the purchase request is prepared by the project manager. So I will generate a new purchase request for the project garage construction in Huldenberg. I'm going to give it a description, so I will be making a purchase request for masonry. And that will be my activity as well. To generate my purchase request lines, I'm going to have an import from my budget that is generated by the quantity surveyor. Search. Here I find my bill of content posts for masonry works. I'm going to select them. Here in tab results, I can see for how much budget that I have imported my lines. So now I've generated in one time my purchase request lines and my budget is linked. So for a project manager, my job is mainly done. I can have entered a date as well, in which date that we will have the work started. So this case is the 30th of September, and here I'm going to change the type to subcontractor. If I'm a project manager and I want specifically one supplier or subcontractor, I can add them here, so the purchase department can have them also in their price requests. So I will add one at this stadium as well, about so now my purchase request is finished and I can change the state to purchasing service, so they can now filter on this state to go on in the process. So now I am a purchaser and I see, okay, this purchase request I need to have finished to the 30th of September, and it's a subcontract, so I'm going to open this one. And here I have a button to go to a price request. When I click on it, I can select all the lines that I want to have in my price request, click on end and proceed. Here I can add some more information. I'm going not to get them into detail, so I just gonna fill in the answer date before. So I need an answer before the 18th of September. And now my lines are already generated by the project manager when he has linked his budget. So I can add some more suppliers if I want for the future price comparison. I'm going to search. I'm going to select another two. So I'm going to save this, and now I can generate a template where some fields are automatically filled in, and we can send this template to our subcontractors. So here we see a little template which consider all the information about the project, the address, and also the lines where we ask our prices for. The next step in the process is the price comparison. So now I can start from this price request. I can click on this button and I can generate a new price comparison. Here I have all my suppliers or subcontractors and I can fill in my prices. So this one is 50, this one is 45. I can have 54, 58, and this one is 40 and 38. So now I have plenty of options to do at this price comparison. I'm not going to show you them all, but one of them is, for example, adding an extra answer line. For example, the last supplier has also a transportation cost. It's quantity 1 and it costs 1,500 euros. So now you saw also changing the color from this to black, and this one has turned green, which means that this one is the best supplier or the best subcontractor in this case. I can save this price comparison now. We also have another option like showing the average unit price, like showing the minimum unit price and so on. But in this case, I'm going to proceed further to make a contract for the best supplier, which is in this case Abbott. Also, like in the other stadias, I can generate now my contract from this price comparison. So I'm going to select create contract. I need to make a project relation from this supplier or subcontractor. Now I can proceed. I need to select a template like in the price comparison or price request. And I need to say I need my answer lines from my supplier. And now my contract is generated. So we see here everything follows. So our budget is linked now to our contract or our order. And we have our lines that come also with our price request and price comparison. The rest of the information like the activity and so on is also filled in yet. Here I can talk a lot more about, but now I will show you how we can see a print preview from our template. This one is in Dutch. And here we see a little text. And here we see our pricing table and some general terms. So if one of the general terms is not applicable, you can select text, delete it or change it, and you can save it as the final version that we can send to our supplier. Now my contract is finished and I going to execute this works. So I'm going to set the status to finished. And now we can make some delivery notes. So in this case, the type was a subcontractor. So I'm going to make a progress state for a subcontractor. I'm going to generate a new one. I'm going to select my contract that I have just made. And here I can fill in the quantities for this period. I need to select my period for September. And here I can fill them in. 27.23, 36.92. So now I can save it, I can change my state to approved, and now this delivery note is also finished. The last step is to reconcile our invoice with our delivery note, and so we can propose a booking proposal for our accountant. So here I have the invoice already made for Abbott, so I'm going to open it. This one can be a PEPL invoice, so every field here is already filled in with our PEPL information. So now I have this button here to reconcile our invoice. I get my delivery notes proposed for this supplier and this project, so I can select all approved delivery notes. Here you can already see, based on this activity, that's why it's so important to work with them activities. So I've chosen masonry for activity, and now our booking proposal is generated. So we see here our nature, which is our type of cost, our project, because we have made our delivery note for this project. And here we see also our account, which is also linked to this activity and proposed by the system, which is the account for subcontractors in this case. So now I can save it. And now we get here our booking proposal and also our booking lines with our VAT. When this is finished, I can book my invoice, and this one is finished. So now the last step is to approve this invoice based on a approving scheme, which in this case is myself that needs to approve this invoice, and then this invoice can be paid. So now I'm going to the window for approving my invoice. I'm going to have a little refresh, and here we see the invoice. This one. I'm going to select this invoice. Here we can see the PDF, which contains these two lines. The amount is okay. I can have a little deduction if the subcontractor doesn't have done all the work. I can give a deduction of 10% by example. I'm not going to do this right now. And here I can approve my invoice. And now this invoice can be paid. So this was, in a nutshell, the process for purchase to pay. So that was a very short demo of WIC, but we can do a lot more than I have shown you now. So if you want more information, don't hesitate to contact us.